It is wild to me how they're going to try to spin this in such a way to make it seem like they fixed Shedeur Sanders when I'm never going to look at it that way.
So they didn't create the pre-draft narrative. They created the post-draft narrative on Shedeur, which was insulting, trying to act like there was a massive difference between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders.
In a shocking turn of events, insider sources are revealing explosive details about the real story behind Shedeur Sanders' comeback. While it seemed like a triumphant return was on the horizon, a new narrative is unfolding that could change everything we thought we knew. Insiders now claim that it was the Browns' management all along, quietly orchestrating a smear campaign against Shedeur after the draft controversy. According to these sources, they never wanted him to shine with the same stardom that he achieved at Colorado. It's been said that they were the ones behind the narrative suggesting that Shedeur Sanders wasn't the hard-working, dedicated player the public admired. Could this be the real reason for his struggles? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let's dive in.
The only part that gets me a little angry is that you took a quarterback in the 5th round.
Despite being the ones behind the initial narrative against Shedeur Sanders, it seems the Browns are now starting to shift their stance. With the pressure mounting, they're slowly laying the groundwork for what could be the rise of a future star. And that star is none other than Shedeur himself. For the first time, it appears the Browns are fully committed to preparing him for the starting role. They're cleaning up the mess around his name, making sure that any doubt or controversy is put to rest before he steps onto the NFL stage. While Dillon's future with the team remains uncertain, insiders are all but certain that Shedeur's moment is fast approaching. And when it comes, it's going to be a game changer, both for him and for the franchise. Insiders have strongly argued that Shedeur Sanders is one of the best fits for Kevin Stefanski's offensive system. They've made it clear that no one can deny his potential to prove himself with the Browns. These insiders have been backing him since the day he was drafted, believing he was more than capable of stepping into the system the Browns run. They've championed his cause, confident that he has always had what it takes to start and succeed in their scheme.
It is wild to me how they're going to try to spin this in such a way to make it seem like they fixed Shedeur Sanders when I'm never going to look at it that way.
But there's something off about the way they're now backing Shedeur to start. Nick Wilson pointed out that after the draft, it was the Browns who pushed a media narrative claiming Dillon was far superior to Shedeur Sanders, a stance that never really made sense. Now, after all that, they're suddenly calling him a great player, which makes the whole situation feel pretty strange. It raises questions about their motives and whether this sudden shift is truly genuine or just a calculated move. This move appears to be a carefully planned tactic, allowing Browns management to maintain control over the narrative surrounding Shedeur and ensuring that any lingering doubts are quickly addressed.
We're going to play your guy at some point this year. Just be patient.
Well, and I'm sure a lot of people think like myself. It's like, yeah, Jimmy Haslam already told us he was going to play this year. You know, like if you just listen to Jimmy Haslam, we'd have both quarterbacks be playing.
Meanwhile, the narrative around Dillon Gabriel is also beginning to change, with Mary Kay Cabot offering some subtle criticism following the Browns' loss to the Vikings. In a recent tweet, she pointed out how Gabriel, despite throwing 2 touchdowns, struggled to lead the team to victory when it mattered most. As the game reached its critical moments, he couldn't deliver. Now, Mary Kay is once again raising the possibility that the Browns should consider bringing Shedeur Sanders in as QB2, at least behind Dillon, to apply some pressure and keep him on his toes.
Browns rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel unable to finish the job as Vikings win 21-17 on the last play of the game, last drive.
Mary Kay Cabot was closely watching the game and didn't hold back in sharing her thoughts on Gabriel's performance. She highlighted a major flaw: Gabriel's inability to handle the growing defensive pressure as the game progressed. It was a challenging outing for him, and she wasted no time voicing her concerns on Twitter after the game. In her post, she pointed out that Gabriel couldn't get the Browns across the finish line, specifically missing a crucial last-minute touchdown that ultimately sealed their loss.
And we can only control what we can control, but yeah, I don't want to speak for anyone in particular. And,
It's not just Mary Kay Cabot raising concerns anymore. Several analysts are now joining the discussion, questioning Dillon Gabriel's ability to maintain composure in critical moments. Ryan, in particular, argued that Shedeur Sanders could have made a significant impact during those pivotal times. He went further to criticize Coach Stefanski's decision to keep Joe Flacco as the backup instead of giving Sanders that role, calling it a missed opportunity to have two promising young quarterbacks in the mix. From Ryan's perspective, if Sanders had been ready to step in when Gabriel began to struggle, the outcome of the game could have been entirely different.
Joe Flacco, can't get it done anymore. So bring Shedeur Sanders up with the young kid, the lefty.
This is the same Rex Ryan who, not long ago, criticized Shedeur Sanders, accusing him of not putting in enough work. Yet now, he's advocating for Shedeur to be considered as a backup. This shift in perspective is telling. It shows how Browns management is quietly paving the way for Shedeur to take the field soon. It's a clear sign that they are preparing for his role. The unfolding drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders and the Browns has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Initially, it seemed like the Browns were behind the media narrative that painted Shedeur in a negative light, with rumors about his work ethic and ability to lead. It was clear that after the draft, the organization played a significant role in fostering this criticism, seemingly trying to distance themselves from a player who had captured so much attention and success at Colorado. The narrative against Shedeur, led by Browns management, left many questioning whether he could truly make it in the NFL under their system. However, the tides have now turned. As the Browns find themselves in need of a quarterback, they are shifting their stance, slowly but surely positioning Shedeur Sanders for a starting role. The very organization that once cast doubt on his potential is now positioning him to step in and prove his worth. While this change may seem odd given their prior actions, it ultimately benefits Shedeur. Now, with the stage set for him to take on a more prominent role, he has the perfect opportunity to prove everyone wrong, especially those who doubted him and tried to undermine his career. For Shedeur, this shift presents a unique chance to silence his critics and show that he's more than capable of thriving in the NFL. His journey has been filled with hurdles, but this newfound opportunity with the Browns could be the moment that defines his career. Despite the Browns' previous efforts to shape the narrative around him, this is now Shedeur's time to take control and prove that he was always worthy of the spotlight. So, what do you think about all these sudden changes in the narrative around Shedeur Sanders? Do you believe the Browns' shift in stance is genuine, or is it just a calculated move to salvage their quarterback situation? How much of this is about Shedeur's potential, and how much is it about the Browns trying to save face after their previous actions? I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this.